Hi, and welcome to Women in Tax. This is something aimed at showing you the lighter side of the taxman, where we get to interact with women who are involved in tax directly or associated with tax somewhere, somehow, as you may have seen from some of the previous episodes. My name is Josephine Kabiasis, and I'll be hosting today. And with us, we have a special lady who I'm going to ask to introduce herself and generally tell us about yourself.
Thank you so much, Jojo. Allow me to call you Jojo on screen. My name is Linda Namayanja. I'm a mom of two. I have a boy called Moendo Benjamin. He's 10 years old. And a girl, Victoria Muyinza. She's 7 years old. I work at URA. Maybe just a brief background of where Jemvu Deyange. So for my primary school, I went to Lohana Academy. That was from P1 up to P7. And while there, I participated in almost everything. I'm a person who has a lot of gas and energy. So I was in all sports, I was in MDD, I participated in literally everything at school. Yeah. And it's one of the things that would make me look forward to going to school. And right now, I encourage my children to be as active as well. Because besides having to read and be serious in class, you have another life. And so these are some of the things that motivate you to look forward to going to school every day. Yeah. From Lohana, I went to Gayaza High School. High five, OG. Gayaza High School.
Actually, OG is Lohana as well, then Gayaza.
So. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Yeah, so I went to Gayaza High School from S1 to S6. And while there, like I mentioned, in my primary school, even in secondary school, I was everywhere. I participated in sports. One thing I forgot to mention is I'm a tomboy-ish. I'm actually just trying to come out of it. So in terms of sports, I'll do all the boy sports, volleyball. During secondary, I was the first captain of the taekwondo club when it was introduced. Because for me, such things bring out a lot of energy and adrenaline. So I want to explore different things. I was part of the swimming. I was part of the MDD. I was the prefect while in HSC of my dorm Kennedy House, which was always the best in all GAPA. That's the Gayaza. Yes, the music competitions, the sports, cleanliness. We were really the best in everything. So from Gayaza, I went to Makerere University. My first bachelor's was my first degree was in library and information science, and I majored in records management. And of course, still, I gave it my all, and I was the best student with a first class in the female category. From there, I did my second master's in information systems. So from records management, I kept on transitioning to the IT world. So I did information systems and majored in business process management, which really looks at how an organization manages its processes to see that, one, we have SOPs in place, we have analyzed our processes, we've understood the business needs, and then we go on to develop systems that are going to help the organization to then flourish and be able to achieve the strategic goal. I went on to do my second master's, an executive MBA in business continuity at PCB University in the US. Out of 1,000 applications across the world, I was the only East African chosen from Uganda to do that course. We were about 10. So I did that course and I emerged again as the best student within that course. So I think that's my school life. So when I finished my degree, the first one, I was called back by the university to work at the library because at that time they would call back first class students. So I took part in a project that went on for about 6 months. We digitalized the Africana section, which has the archives, things from 1900. We digitalized them, automated them, and now there's a fully fledged system in the library. And this has attracted very many researchers from different countries, institutions. So when you go there, you'll see my name as the pioneers, one of the pioneers in that. From Makerere University, I went on to work at NTV. At NTV, I worked in their digital library for about a year and a half. And from there, I was headhunted by KCB Bank to work in the archive. So there, of course, it was a lot of manual work. But by the time I left, after my 5 years there, I had left a system that helps you to identify the records you want, to be able to retrieve them, to be able to use them, maintain them, and restore them again. So from there, I came to URA, the great URA. And I still started as a records officer in the records and registries section. While there, with my team, I spearheaded the development and establishment of the first tax museum, not only in Uganda, but in East and Central Africa. And this has been a great milestone that I look back to and I'm like, wow, this is something that I was part of. It was launched by the President of Uganda when the new building was being opened. So for me, it's a memorable experience. This museum has created a platform for different other revenue authorities to come and benchmark. We've been able to invite institutions, schools to come and learn where have we come from as a tax institution to where we are. From there, I got a promotion to join the research department as a supervisor in business process management. And still there, I did a number of things that I achieved with my team, documentation of our processes, starting the journey that is going to lead URA to achieve the ISO 9001 quality management system. So I was part of a team that was on a project for leading URA to a digitalized environment and institution, which is an ongoing initiative right now. After about 4 years, I got a promotion to become a manager, which is the current role I have right now as a manager, business relationship management, and IT quality assurance. So briefly, that is, oh, I forgot to say I'm the only girl of two. I have 2 brothers. Yes, that's briefly about me.
That brief introduction just screams pioneer, first class, best, excellent, trendsetter. I'm stunned. I need a moment to take this in. But anyway, you mentioned your current role, and I just wanted to know, what does this entail? Being manager, business relationship management, and IT quality assurance. What does that mean also in simpler English?
Okay.
Not that first class student English. Yeah, break it down for us.
Okay, so as a manager, business relationship management and IT quality assurance, our major role, we have 2. One, majorly, is stakeholder management. So as IT, we've been looked at as inward looking. We sit as ITs, the geeks. We come up with systems and solutions and then push them out to the organization. And then you end up finding a lot of resistance, we didn't ask for this, we didn't understand what we needed. You came up with a system that only suits you, it's going to be short-lived. So my role with my team is to engage stakeholders, both internal and external. Internally, the different departments, customs, what are your needs? Let's engage. We are liaisons between the customs department and our business analysts. They come together, understand your needs, and then develop a solution that is actually going to work for you, that is going to speak to the environment that you're doing. So stakeholder management, I have realized, is a very, very key thing. Not only in my role, but generally to everybody. If you do not understand who your client is or what they want, you're going to keep doing things that are meaningless or are not going to be implemented or used. So the other thing that we've done well is we have engaged internally departments, and I'm sure you can see now IT is really more visible. We put out our products, our services we do. We're really in your faces more. But the other angle of external stakeholders is one that we hadn't really leveraged on. You realize that URA works a lot with MDAs, with banks, development partners, vendors, service providers.
Yeah.
So my role now is to see that even those external stakeholders are engaged. One of the things that we've done since the beginning of the financial year is to visit different stakeholders.
Yeah.
We visited banks, different ministries, and they're really glad. It's more of a courtesy visit, but you know how when you know URA is coming to visit, people start running. Are we compliant? Are our books in order? But you know, some of these people we visited, we go and say, no, we've actually come to say thank you. We've noted that over the years, the journey that we've walked with you, you've been able to achieve A, B, C, D. You're using our platforms. You have jumped onto our digitalization strategy and transformation journey, and you're working with us. You are enabling us to even perform better. We have a digital strategy that we rolled out in 2023 as IT, URA, and it has 9 objectives. And one of them is to work with and through stakeholders to improve the eco-tax system. So we are not working in isolation of these other stakeholders. So us going to them and telling them, we see you, we recognize your efforts, how better can we support you, how better can we collaborate, is something that my role has been able to do, and it has created great impact. And the other thing is that as IT, we've been dubbed as we go collect issues and we're in your faces, and when we go back and never come back to give you feedback. So that is something that we're also trying to demystify. We're trying to put away with that. So when we come to meet you, for example, PCA, customs, we get your issue logs, we actually work on them one by one, and every week we ensure that the issue log is actually covered. So that's what my role does. The other side is the IT quality assurance. This entails process management, coming up with KPIs to see that the processes that we have in place, how do we measure that we're actually performing? Many times we just come to work, do what you're supposed to do, but there's no tangible key result area or KPI that we can use to say, Jojo, today you came in, you are supposed to do 5 stakeholder engagements. Were they done? Were minutes shared? Was feedback given? When is the next meeting? So we have set up KPIs and matrices that are going to help us manage and track how are we performing as IT. And with time we shall roll this out even to the rest of the organization. So that's where the IT quality management part of my role comes in. Yes.
Right. So what is a day like when you wake up? What time do you come? What do you do? Do you come and then run around the whole of Kampala?
No. So I wake up, I won't say that time, but I wake up by God's grace early in the morning. I get ready, drop the children to school, and then come to work. First thing I do when I reach office, I share the daily devotion to all staff. And then I have a to-do list that I check. Every morning I have a to-do list, and I check off every task that I've set to do that day. If I'm not able to finish it, I push it on to the next day. That is something that has helped me remain sane and organized, because my kind of role, you can be called for any ad hoc meeting. My direct supervisor is the commissioner IT. So anytime I clean up, we have this engagement, let's go. Whether you're prepared or not, get up, move, go. So having a to-do list has helped me keep focused and organized. So go through that day, the activities. If I had scheduled engagements, those are attended with my team. We ensure that the minutes are taken, attendance is done, and we get back to the different clients. Up to 5. Sometimes I have to push beyond 5, or sometimes I go up to 10, because I ensure that whatever I said I'll do that day, I have done it and I've completed it. So that's how really my day looks like. I don't run around Kampala because my job is more of here. But now we want to also see how we reach out to the up-country stations, and that's one of the plans that we have probably for the next financial year.
All right.
Yes.
I picked out the to-do list. It's something I also do, but I like how you say what you've done. If you've not done something, you carry it forward. I think that's a good one for me. You walked us through your journey from being headhunted and what, but in URA specifically, what has it been like, that rising from officer to manager currently? What has it been like?
Okay. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I have a lot of gas, and I'm a go-getter, and I have targeted things I desire to achieve. So I had done the records management role for like forever, from campus to the first job I had at the library, to the bank, to NTV, to the bank, Armenia when I came to. So it was over like 8 years. I really had done it, and I felt like I had reached, I had given my all. There was really nothing new for me to serve or to contribute towards in that role. So when I finished and that's one of the things that influenced my selection of what masters I wanted to do, information systems. Information systems has a lot of, it brings in the IT aspects, business analysis, business process management. It may not be core IT, but it shows you that transition from a manual environment through to an automated or digitalized environment. So for me, it was a very interesting course, and I think I was one of the first people that took it at Mackay when it was launched. That's the other thing I like to do, to be one of the first people doing things, yeah, because somehow it pays off, yeah, later in future. So when I finished my master's and I came back to office, I just finished my maternity for my second born. I came back to work and I was really done. I was like, I'm going to start looking for other jobs outside URA, because I think I have really contributed to the records management field. And around that time, the ERP was coming on board, and I was part of that team that came up with the requirements. So I knew when this manual environment is finally automated, really, there's no more to contribute towards this. Not in a bad way, but yeah. So I wanted more. I wanted to apply what I had learned in class for my master's to the work that I'm doing. But finding a role or a job in business process management or information systems was really hard. I looked online within Uganda. Outside of Uganda, it was difficult. So by God's grace, when I was just about throwing the towel, URA sent out an internal advert. Supervisor, business process management in the research division. I was like, but wow, like the dots always connect, yeah. So I looked at that JD and I was like, but this is me. Like, this is my job. I looked at everything that was in the JD and I could do it. I didn't have the experience, but I knew I had the brains and I had the paperwork and I had my academics to back it up. So I went on ahead to, when I'm going to do an interview, I asked God, whom should I talk to help me prepare? And you know, I write a list. I formally inform these people, hello, SC or manager, so and so, I am due for an interview. I would like you to spare 10 minutes of your time to take me through how I can prepare. So they give me an appointment, I go, and everything they tell me, I take it in. So it was a very good learning experience for me and platform to help me prepare. And I hope that the people watching can see that you don't just jump into things. You must prepare for what you are, what you desire to accomplish or what you desire to get. So I prepared properly, yeah. The people that I was going to compete against were people who had been in URA for years. There were people who had been in that role for a long time, people from domestic tax, from, you know, customs, and these were men. So the long list comes out and everyone's like, what, Linda? Who's Linda? From records? How do you dare cross from records to Commissioner General's office? Like the boldness. But I was like, I will do it. I am going to stick in there. So when the long list came out, I continued to prepare. At that time, we used to do written interviews. Now, when the long list comes out, there's another set of filtering they do for now the list that's going to do that written. When that list came out, for my role, they were like, we did not find anyone sufficient to take on this role. I said, wow, like the embarrassment, that I felt very deflated because one, I'm not ashamed to say that around that time they looked at records and registries as a, yeah, like an, you know how you have tiers? We were like dozens. So they are saying, how does someone from there jump to Commissioner General's office? And there was a lot of negative feedback and a lot of, you're so bold, you've just come. For us, we've been here for many years. Have you seen us applying? Did you talk to the supervisor for permission? You get such stereotyping.
Yes. Lobby or something. Yeah.
So, but me, I was like, no, I believe I can do this. I will go through the normal process and I will apply. And if it is mine, I will get it. But I knew beyond knowing that it is going to be my job, because everything on the JD, I knew I could do. But when that came out, I felt so deflated. And I said, never in my life shall I apply. So I kept quiet. I went to mute. I was so discouraged. 6 months went by. I continued looking for jobs outside because I was like, I have to leave this place. I want to do more. I can do more. 6 months down the road, they re-advertise. I was like, I saw it. Many voices was like, you try again. You thought you'd be. Said, God, I'm going to use this same application I used the other time, and I put it in without changing any details, maybe just the date. If it's my job, you will show me. So I put it that way. It was not changing any details, because it's the same one I used the other time that they said I didn't qualify. So I was like, if it's not my job, Lord. So I put it in the way it was. Long list comes out again. My name is there. There were like 5 guys, and I was the only lady. Still, hey, you think you can? I said, okay. I showed the next list comes out, and I was on it. I'm like, yes, go for the written. I used my knowledge from class. Remember, I had no experience of hands-on.
Yeah.
So I read, actually, it was like I was going for a real exam, like I was preparing for this interview.
Yeah.
So I did the written, and I passed. Went for the orals, and I passed, and I got the job. Let me just go back a bit. Among the people that I talked to, like I mentioned, I took down all their advice. Yeah. One of the people I met told me, Linda, the commissioner of that department, it loves flowers and color. These are small things, but they mean a lot. Yeah. So I took it. She was like, try to get a flower. You know, at that time they tell you, put on black, put on gray, put on, you know. So I was like, okay. So I went and I looked for a flower and I put it here. When I entered the interview, the first thing she saw, she was like, wow, Linda, what a beautiful flower. I was like, oh, I did research on you and I was told you love flowers. She was like, so for me, that was my icebreaker. Yeah. And the rest of the interview went on so well. And she said, but you're from records. How do you relate business process management? And I told her, oh, I've just completed my master's and I emerged the best student, and here is my dissertation. She just looked through and she saw everything I'd done in there. She was like, this is the right pattern for that job. Yeah. So I got that job. When I went into records, RPD at that time, of course it was challenging because I wasn't in the role. So there's all this, did she deserve it? Can you
say RPD in full?
Oh, research, planning, and development. Okay. It was a division under Commissioner General's office then, but it was now dissolved into now strategy, the new department. Yeah. Yeah. So there was a lot of peer pressure, not peer pressure, but that external voice that you can't manage. How did you even get here? You must have, you know. But I knew what I could do. But that was a challenge for me because I had to fit in. Yeah. And there was a lot of, we shall not support her. Let us see how she will, let us watch her. She's going to fail. But I was like, I will do this. So I came up with new things, new ideas. And my supervisor was very supportive. And, you know, we rolled out most of these things, made sure that we engaged the stakeholders. We started that journey that URA is going to take to have the ISO certification. So we did so many things that we achieved as a team. And I'm really glad that I was able to jump over those hurdles and give a deaf ear to, you know, all those talks and everything. And then from there, I was able to also apply for the manager role and get that job as well as the current position that I have. So it's a lot of determination, knowing who you are and going for it. Don't hold back, go for it.
But you missed one. The famous motto.
Oh, never give up. Yeah. Yes, never give up as a girl. Yeah.
Yeah, because you went the first time.
Yes.
If you had given up, then
I
would
wouldn't
not
be,
probably not be having this conversation.
True.
Yeah. So, something else I wanted to pick up on. You kept saying there were men, and I was the only lady, which kind of substantiates the fact that, or the norm, or what we perceive IT to be, a male-dominated space. So what hacks have you had up your sleeve that have enabled you to thrive in that space?
Okay, yes, it's known that IT is for the men, it's male-dominated mainly. But as a lady or as a woman, one thing I would encourage us is own your expertise. Like I've given an example. One of the things that I like to do is, if we're given a list of 10 courses, there is mass comm, there is HR, there is business process management, then there is IT, then there is, I will pick something that not everybody is going to do, because I want to stand out. So when I speak, even if it's a room full of men, I know I'm the expert in that. I'm the subject matter expert in that. So they're not going to challenge me. I'll give an example. I was the first student in my master's to do the elective of business process management. So when I went to present my research after the modeling, the simulations, and I went to present it, and they're seeing all these things, running on the screen, and the notifications coming, and they're like, wow. So when I finished, I said, that's all, thank you so much. If there are any questions, could you please let me know? They all looked at each other. No further questions, because none of them was an expert in that field. Yeah. So that is something that made me, not that what I was presenting was off, but it gave me confidence. So own your expertise. If you know that you're good at something within IT or whichever subject, own it and have confidence in it. The other thing is keep learning. That's something that every time I want to add a new skill. I think you saw my profile. I have like 1,000 certifications, and not just but things that I know that are going to help me to improve on my journey. So learn something new. Join mentorship classes. Join a group, a network of ladies. There's one called Women in Technology Network group. So join such things. I have a friend, we actually OGs, she's called Rowena Turinawe. You know her?
Yes.
You remember her? Yes. So she's really flourishing in this tech world as a lady. She was working at NTV, now she's with the Centenary Group, and this is someone I have in my pocket. So we keep meeting, sharing notes, So have those groups that help you too. The other thing is don't shy away. You are unique the way you are. The thing that you think is a minority to you is actually something that can make you stand out. Like I mentioned, I came from records, but right now I can stand up and say in records I was able to establish or see through the project of setting up the first tax museum. And this is some of the things that I mentioned during my interview as a manager. The two ladies that I was competing against are very big ladies in the IT world, but I had to pick what makes me stand out, what makes me tick, what makes me unique. So thrive and leverage on those things that you feel like, this one, will they see me, will they? No, these are the examples I gave. Tax museum, the journey to having ISO certification, which these other people did not have. And this is what made me stand out. Things like sports, being the captain of URA's swimming team, being on the volleyball team, as the most valuable player. So things like that, leverage on those things that you think might make you feel small. Don't shy away from challenges. Because we all have the unequal space. When we come to work, we all have an equal space to shine. So yes, those are some of the things that have helped me to maneuver through.
I'd like to pick up on that. Don't shy away from challenges. What other challenges have you experienced? I know you've kind of capitalized on the ones as a female in a male-dominated space, but also as a manager or in URA generally, what are the other challenges that you encounter or that you see other people encounter?
Okay, I'll mention two as a female first. Gender bias. So as ladies, we are looked at as the ones who are caregivers, nurturers. We take on that role more. So we are not expected to be the ones, making decisions or standing out. But as a lady, like I've mentioned before, you need to leverage on your strengths. You need to leverage on some of these things that make you shine or outshine the male world. Yeah. So don't be like me. I can't do this, which is also it's called imposter syndrome, where you feel like my achievements are not going to be actually accepted, or my achievements do not mean much, and yet they actually do. So keep piling up those small things. In IT, we have a framework that we are using, ITIL4. Start where you are and then improve iteratively. So from where you are, you can improve continuously. Yeah. So some of the challenges generally as a manager is buy-in from top management of initiatives that you have come up with. As IT, we have so many initiatives. Like I mentioned, the digital strategy, we have so many initiatives that we cannot do alone. We need customs input, we need DT's input, we need HR's input, finance. So that buy-in from those different departments can be a bit of a challenge. So there's a lot of change management that we have to embark on to see that how can we get you on our side to see that we can work better. Issues of understaffing. So there's a lot of workload, but the staff are few. So how do you manage, as a manager, how do you manage your resources? Both the staff, the funding, and any other kind of resources. Those are some of the challenges that we have faced as leaders today in the organization. But with time, there's a lot of improvement that has come on board.
Okay.
Yes.
And URA generally?
The challenges.
The other challenges, yeah, because you've mentioned as a manager, what do you think? Because as an IT person coming up with the solutions and all that, what other challenges have you seen? Siloism
in the organization, where the different departments do not appreciate what the other department contributes, because at the end of the day, we are all here to achieve URA's mission. Revenue mobilization to lead Uganda to economic independence. But if DT does not appreciate how it's going to affect customs or HR, or how HR does not appreciate how it's going to affect the rest of the organization, if it does not recruit in time, if staff are not paid on time, if staff are not motivated or rewarded, that brings a lot of siloism. So this is something that I've seen from the time I joined URA that is still a struggle that we have as an organization. But there are different initiatives that can be brought up, or that we're actually trying to work on to see that some of these things are broken and we move forward all together. Yes.
Do you want to expound on those initiatives?
The initiatives. Okay, my role is actually well placed to help in this. One of the things that, like I mentioned, engagements. Engage. As IT, we are looked at as we are behind the systems, we are behind our computers, we don't come out to understand. So we engage continuously, pick issues, give feedback, close the feedback loop. That's another thing that really brings about siloism. The lack of transparency and openness. We came to meet you, DT, you gave us 10 issues, and we've gone and sat. Whether it's IT or it's another department, why don't you give us feedback? How far have you gone? Are you tracking? So we need to improve. Let's engage more, and let's actually follow through with our word and close the feedback loop. We have liaisons that we are working with from the different departments to see that they have understood our strategy, and they help us to then forward it to the other departments. As IT, involve us in your planning. I'm speaking more on IT because it's where I am, but other departments as well, yes, because like I mentioned, we are all working towards the same goal as a tax institution. So involve those departments that you need for support or will influence you. Involve them early in your planning, so that as IT we know on our radar for this year we have DT wants this system, HR needs this system, customs needs this kind of improvements. Then we're able to plan better and engage more. And when I talk about process management, the other thing that we've done is to ensure that our processes are documented. And why is this important? When we document our processes and standardize our operating procedures, everybody knows what they're supposed to do. But as we document, we also have interlinkages. So we are able to know that DT connects with HR like this, HR connects with finance like this, which other departments? Customs connects with the CGO's office like this. So these interlinkages help us know that when we map out the process architecture, you're able to see URA on a page. And you know how every department talks to each other. The core processes, the support processes, the management processes. From this, then we're able to know what data do I need from DT to do my work. What data does DT need from HR to do its work? What data does custom need from finance to do its work? Because right now we are trying to leverage, as part of our digital strategy, leverage on data more to create insights, to make decisions better. I would like to give an example of the dashboards that we've developed. These dashboards also create visibility. So if Customs is working on an initiative with IT, we've created dashboards that help us to see the work that we're doing with Customs, how far are we, what are the trends. If you remember last financial year, towards a close, there's a dashboard that was running every day on a bridge showing the collections as real time they come in, and everybody was glued. This station, you're bringing less. This station, so the commissioner is able to call Mbale station, what's happening? Toro station, what's happening? So this using of data to create, to help management make decisions is something that we are leveraging on, and it's something that's going to break the silos and those barriers. Yes.
I can't forget that.
The pressure time.
That pressure time,
yeah.
Where they say the pressure is getting worse.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but does it increase or decrease? Yeah, but like, I think what I've picked out mostly is that we're all interconnected.
Yes.
So it's not ideal for one person to think they can work alone. And I think that takes us back to the analogy of body parts. I think it's also in the Bible, You can't say that the eye is on its own and it's maybe superior to this.
Even when a small thorn goes into your toe, the whole body has to, because yes. So.
Yeah. So I guess it's the same thing with work.
Yes.
So I feel like after this I can go and also study IT, data, what systems, processes. But I think on a lighter side, now that we've handled the more taxation bit, on the lighter side, you mentioned, what did you? Yes, you did. Swimming. You recently led the Uganda national team, the swimming delegation to Burundi for the World Aquatic Games 2024, where you brought home, was it gold?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gold. I want to say that again. They brought back gold. Yeah. So what did it feel like being a pioneer female captain representing Team Uganda and bringing back the gold? We already discovered pioneer, first class, best, excellence. Those are the things she associates with. So what did that feel like?
Okay, first of all, I was blown. When we were invited to go for the flag off ceremony, I had no idea. So we're seated at the podium, and the speeches are going on, and the committee and the chairperson of the Uganda Swimming Federation is giving his remarks and all. It's like, so at this point, I'd like to recognize the captains who are going for. So we're divided into two. I was the captain for master swimmers. So master swimmers are age 25 and above. Then we had the juniors as well. That's 20 and below. So he first introduced the captains for the juniors, and then he was like, the captain for the master swimmers is Linda Namayanja. I was literally jazzing with my friend, and I was like, what? So yes, please come give us your pitch, no idea, never to be prepared. I was caught off guard. I stood up, I went down, and I spoke. And after that, we did the photos and everything. Now, one thing I would like to encourage the ladies, be prepared. As a leader, be prepared, because, and also you are being watched. Because when later I talked to the chairperson, I was like, how did you choose me? Like, there were so many other ladies in the team. And before, it's always been this gentleman who has always, led that team. I said, no, Linda, we've been watching you. You come on time, you train, you're serious with your, and even the way you coordinate with the rest of the team, we thought that it would be good and motivate the team for us to change, but also to have you as a lady to lead the team too. So for me, it was an honor to lead the team, to go represent the country, my country, to Burundi, and it was a very, very good experience. We went, we won the gold, we came back, we were called to the parliament to be recognized and appreciated. So it was like, something you can never think of, but it actually happened. So it was very inspirational for me, yes.
That's very interesting. So being the first ever captain to lead, the national team, I don't think that was an easy feat. What would you say made you a worthy contender?
Okay, first of all, like I mentioned, I'm very focused and very organized. And when I do something, I do it with all my heart, yeah? So I believe that this is one of the things. When it's time for training, it's time for training. We train thrice a week, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I make sure I'm there after work, drive to the pool, train for those 2 hours, and go home, yeah? So I believe that's one of the things that must have made the team or the management then to choose me. Then 2, consistency. Training time, are you consistent? The times that you hit, do you qualify? Your technique, is it good? Yeah, so, but besides all that, how do you relate with the other team members? Because leadership is not about, me I can do this, me I can do this. No, there's some strokes that I'm not good at, that the rest of my team is good at. Do you lead by example? Are you there for the rest of our team? Do you inspire the team? Do you motivate the team? I'll give an example. When we reached Burundi, one of the things that can help a team to win is the more participants you have, you need all those points. All those points count. So you might be a team of 10, and there's another team that has 20, but if the 10 people participate in all the races, those small points can get you to become the best. So when you reach there, before you go, you're the one who selects the events that you want. I'll do this one, I'll do this one, I'll do this one. So we get there, and we're like, you know what, guys? Strategy has changed. We need to all participate in all the races. Now remember, for me, I know my 2 best races, butterfly and freestyle. Backstroke, breaststroke, I never go for them like I say other people will do, but I had to sign up. I know just 1 lap, 2 laps. I'm normally good at the 1 lap, but now I have to just for and all the other races. Now, if I had backed away, I'm like, me, I can't do those things. Me, I didn't train for that. The rest of the team would have been demotivated. So because I signed up, then everybody else was like, you know what, even us, let's all do for the good of the team and for the good of our country, we need all these points. So we all participated in all the races. And by all the races, I mean that's about 10 races per person. That's very exhausting. Yeah. So it needed a lot of, a lot of motivation, a lot of you can do it. Team meetings after, how can we improve for tomorrow? It was an event for 3 days, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we all. So it was really a lot of team efforts, yeah. But also, as a leader, how do you inspire the rest of the team? Yeah.
Oof, that's. I already feel even like a pressure as if I'm just covered in water. Anyway, jokes aside, you're also active in other initiatives. Earlier, you spoke about mentorship, right? So, I think it was what? Mentee of your cohort? You were awarded. Okay, you can talk about it.
Excellence Award.
Please talk about it. I may not have the right words to talk about it. So just talk about that and then tell us, like, the insights that you get from that experience and what that meant to you.
Okay, so at the beginning of last year, 2024, it was not very good. Like, I started it on a low note. There was so much happening at work. I was trying to finish up my second master's. We had some challenges. My mom was not well. So I was under a lot of pressure and I was not fine. I was stressed. Yeah, so I needed something to psych me up, yeah? So a friend of mine reaches out to me, and someone I look up to a lot. She was also in Gayaza. Hi, Janet. It's called Janet Navuga. Yes, and I really look up to her. Actually, in school, when she left HSC, she was the house prefect of Kennedy, and I went into her shoes, yeah? So even now, like, so that's another thing that ladies pick somebody that you can look up to, whom you admire and can actually follow in their footsteps. So she reached out to me and said, Linda, I'm starting this program, Journey to the Boardroom, and I think it would really do you well. I was like, okay, let me give it a try. So I went for 1 or 2 sessions, and I was still feeling like, but I persisted. I said, it's okay. Like, it's not a mistake that God has had to call me at that moment when I was feeling like I needed something new, and then she brings up this opportunity. So I pushed, and there were so many lessons I learned, so many people that we got to meet, icons in this, in Uganda. The purpose of this Journey to the Boardroom course or program is to prepare and empower young people to take on boardroom spaces. So it teaches us about corporate governance, good corporate governance, leadership, how do you work with teams, how do you better yourself, how do you discover yourself. We were exposed to very big icons in the country like Maggie Chigozi, Sam Mogeza, Mr. Hassan Saleh. So these people mentored us, handheld us, and for me it was something I feel that I needed at that time. I never thought about it, but I would like to encourage us to take on mentorship, coaching, hand-holding, and I'm glad that URA has opened up such opportunities for us to be able to be exposed to some of these things, because you might think you know everything, but you actually don't. Yeah. We had so many people in that class who are already board members on so many boards, but their eyes were reopened, and there were so many things that we learned. Yeah, how do you handle people, different temperaments? How do you resolve conflicts? How do you stand out? How do you use media to brand yourself? Yeah, so it was a very rich course, which I would like to encourage many of us to actually take on. So during that whole program, of course, like I mentioned, I was low. So about like 4 or 5 sessions, I was still backbencher, not really. But as time went on, I was like, no, Linda, we have to pull up our socks. We came here for a purpose. So I kept on coming out, interacting. The networking was really good, doing your assignments on time, going beyond what is expected, and I emerged the best mentee out of that program. There were so many aspects that they were looking at, go-getter, organized, beating the barriers, thinking outside the box, and team spirit.
They were looking for you,
in brief. So during the grand finale, it was actually also a surprise to me. I was recognized and I got the award from the then Deputy Governor of BOU and the now Governor of BOU. So one of the things we learned is branding by association. At that time, we took so many photos with him, so many, interacted with him, shared and exchanged business cards. So now when he's actually appointed, you post a picture and you're like,
congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
Kwetega.
Properly, that's the word, kwetega, And that's actually something that our cohort president taught us, Mr. Rodney Mukula. He taught us kwetega. How do you put yourself there? Because nobody's going to look for you. Nobody. I was invited to this course, but I could have decided to stay as a backbencher the whole 3 months. But I was like, no, I have to benefit from this course. So the networking, the kwetega, even now, when I post a picture with me and the BOU governor, I was like, Linda, can you connect us? But it's more the confidence it brings out in you, the knowing that you are somebody, that you achieved this. So for me, that was a very good experience for me, and I would like to encourage other ladies. There are so many mentorship courses out there. Get into one, network, and you don't know where it will lead you to. Yeah.
All right. So, as a future board member, have you taken it?
Properly, like I receive it.
Anyway, as a future board member, what tips do you have for women looking to transition into leadership roles?
Okay, the future board member, I'm already. So this program also opened us up to, one of the things we learned is you are invited to a board. You don't apply. May I please? No, you are invited. So one of the opportunities that she provides through this program is there's a whole database about us with our profiles. So you go into the website and you look, Linda Namayanja, they are these persons, they have achieved this, they can do this and this. Mary who, so someone actually invites you. So after this program, I was invited to serve on the International Council of Museums. I represent URA on that. I'm also part of I was invited to be on the Asante Group management, Asante West Management Group as a board member. I got the opportunity to serve on the Gayaza Old Girls Executive. So it has opened up opportunities for me. Do you know, I've forgotten the question when you asked me.
What tips do you have for those of us who would like to walk in those footsteps?
Okay. Know who you are. Believe in yourself. Yeah? The sky is the limit. For me, like I mentioned, I want to learn more and learn more and learn more. I don't stop at basics. Yeah? I want to get more, to learn more. Mentorship, hand-holding. Do not fear or feel shy of going to ask someone that you admire, someone who has been there before you. My current supervisor is a coach, a life coach, and I approached him and he's now coaching me. So look out for those opportunities that can help you become better version of yourself. Work on invest in yourself. Do not shy away from opportunities because time is ticking. What impact or legacy do you want to leave behind? Yeah. Do you want to stand out? Do you want to be among those that are counted? Or you want to be there for you, come to work 8 to 5 and I go home? What have you contributed to the organization, even to the world out there? Yeah. So be a go-getter. Yeah.
I like that you want to be counted. One of the things I noticed when you're reading certain books, Genesis especially, they can mention like some general people and they say Noah, this one, and there are those guys who get lost.
General Kayola.
That Kayola. So I like that. Do you want to be counted? Do you want to be like Noah, Abraham? All these people we mention off the top of my okay, no, let me mention ladies who Rachel, Deborah,
Sarah,
Esther.
Yes.
Yeah. So as we prepare to wind up, you've talked a lot about these extra activities, these other activities that are not just work, that are not just being a mother or a wife, all those things. How important is that to you, especially the aspect of giving back, volunteering, mentorship? How important is that to you?
Okay, because I've received a lot, I want to share. And also in sharing, you learn from other people's experience. I'll give maybe the examples where I'm volunteering. Currently, I am a class parent representative on my son's class at school. He goes to the North Green School. For me, I found this when they sent out the call, parents would like to volunteer. I was like, what? Me first on the list. Because giving back is a good thing. So it's also an opportunity for you to create impact, to bring about something new. Like I mentioned before, I like to start things. I want to be mentioned as Linda is the one who started this, Linda is the one who brought this initiative. So it makes you stand out and also creates confidence in you. So as a class parent representative for my son's class, I've set up career sessions. They are 10 years old, 8, 9, 10, year 4. But I've been able to register parents every Tuesday morning between 7:30 and to 8 a parent comes and talks about their career as a doctor, they come dressed as a doctor. They find creative ways to, you know, disseminate this information to and inspire those children. So I don't know, because you ask, who wants to be a doctor? Okay, every Tuesday they change their careers, but for me, I feel like that alone one is very admirable. Your child sees you come into class, you talk about your career, you talk about what you do. It creates some kind of impact. So that's one of the ways that I give back. The other way is through the Gayaza Old Girls Association. I learned a lot from Gayaza. I picked a lot from Gayaza. It has made me who I am. So when the call came out to who would like to serve on the committee, I volunteered. And right now there's so many things that I've been able to achieve or to do, the networking. I'm the secretary in charge of membership. So I call upon all girls, please register, starting with you, Jojo. So through this platform, I've been able to reach out to so many ladies, people that you had lost contact with, reaching out to them, my own year classmates, yeah? So the reunions have become more frequent. We actually held one just this Saturday. We called up, you know, our year class, and so many girls stand up and sharing our experiences, seeing how far God has brought us. It was really enriching. But also being able to provide a platform for all these old girls to meet, to network, to give back. We go back to school to mentor the S1s, the S5s. We provide career guidance. We have Gayaza Day where we go back and, you know, we speak to these girls just like how they used to come and speak to us and encourage us. So now it's my turn, and it's very fulfilling. Yeah. The other area, is there's a group of young people, a program called the mentorship class. So this one looks at S4 vacies, S6 and campuses. So I've been able to serve there as well. You go, you talk to these children, young people, and you know, you prepare them for the career time when they're out of school, try to guide them and channel them to the right path. So I feel like these are very good avenues. I'm not doing it just for me, but also for the future generation. So it's a good avenue to give back. Yes.
As we wind up, what are your parting shots? I wanted to ask so many other questions, the people that inspire you, your philosophy in life. I don't know if you can put that all in one, but just as we close, what are your parting shots? Okay,
two ladies that I look up to. One is Indra Noi. I don't know if you've heard about her, but she was the PepsiCo chairman, and she beat barriers. When you asked me how do I maneuver through a male-dominated environment, this lady was able to do it. She's a homemaker, she's a mother, she's a wife, but she was still a boss. And she was able to balance all this, yeah? So for me, when I read her story, I feel like I can do this. I can do this. The other lady from here is Maggie Chigozi, as an OG. She's one of the mentors that came to speak to us during the JTB and shared with us her story. You know, you look at her on TV and in news, and you don't know that such will also go through challenges, yeah? But the way she was able to thrive through this male-dominated environment, those are some of the ladies that I look up to. I would like to read a quote as my parting shots. Something that one of my mentors that I look up to and respect shared with me. Fall in love with taking care of yourself. Fall in love with the path of deep healing. Fall in love with becoming the best version of yourself with patience, but with patience, with compassion, and respect your own journey. This is a journey that you, as Jojo, are on. So be kind to yourself. When you mess up, don't beat yourself too hard. That's one of the things I used to suffer with. I would beat myself up. I failed this interview. I failed this opportunity. I've messed up at work. But be kind to yourself. And every day, take one day at a time. Today it was bad. Tomorrow will be better. So keep improving slowly by slowly, but also have a network or a friend that you can hold yourself accountable to that can help you through this journey. Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity for me to share my experience.
Thank you so much, Linda. And just so you know, Maggie Chigozi has been here before.
Oh,
so on Women in Tax, so I charge you to go and look out for it and watch it.
I will.
Thank you so much for those who have watched with us. We could have gone on and on and on, but I hope that this has been enlightening and encouraging, and that has shown you that URA also has a humane side and a good one. So thank you so much, and bless.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.